Welcome back. Today is the 7th of December. It's going so fast, isn't it? So I'm going to show you my mandatory advent calendar first, like I have been on the other days. So here we go. So it's Monday today. I'm doing this a little bit later actually. This is after lunch, but it's just, you know what it's like, family, home and everything. When I've got two people at home, life gets a bit busy. So I'm glad I got this one ready, especially because it took me a while to find number 7 today. Right, so I'll have a look. So here we go. Oh, I was going to say it feels like fabric. Oh gosh, these are so nice. There's 3 fabrics in there. I'm guessing, without opening them out, they're going to be fat quarters. And one of them is a red kind of, would you call it gingham check? And Mandy actually uses that for a lot of binding in her kits. Excuse me, my nose is running again. In her kits. There's this lovely light spotty one. That's really lovely, isn't it? And that will be really, I can see me using that in a quilt. Because sometimes I struggle to get a cream colour with a little bits of red, and do you know when you don't just want plain cream but you want something but not too fussy? So I'll definitely probably be putting that in my Christmas quilt that will be done for next year hopefully. And look at this one, I've never seen that fabric before anywhere or on Mandy's website, so that's really lovely. It might be Moda, because I know Mandy does generally have Moda fabrics. Oh gosh, it's delightful, isn't it? That's so nice. And I noticed yesterday when I read out the things off Mandy's website, the paragraph was a little bit messed up. Do you know when I read the bit about day 5 and the bells? It was started off about the bells, because I watched yesterday's video back. It started off about the bells, didn't it? Then it went to the beeswax, which was the day before, and then back to the bells. So the paragraph didn't really make sense, did it? So, and I read it out and it wasn't, and I did think when I was reading it, oh, this is a bit messed up. But when I watched it back, I saw, yes, it looks pretty messed up. So I'm going to log into Mandy's website now, and I'm going to show you what's on there today about these fabrics, and she might even say where they're from. But so I'll be back in a minute. So here it is. Day 7, fabric bundle, a little bundle of Christmas loveliness, all ready for cutting up and making into something gorgeous. And if you look at the bells, that's the one I was on about. It says, I just love the sound of bells. And then it goes on to talk about conditioning your thread with beeswax. And then it goes, or just tie them up in a bunch and hang to a door or a tree. So I hope you don't think you're just being a bit crazy, but that's what it said. Right, I'll swing back round to me. Right, I've decided to do something slightly different today. I'm going to do a make some plans video, like my usual content included in this. But what it is, there's only 3 makes. So hopefully it's not going to take too long, because you know how long my videos are. So I'm trying, I didn't write a list, so I've just got to see how it goes and try and remember what I've made. So I think the first thing, when I looked on my Instagram, it was a dog jumper, and somebody on Instagram has asked about it, and because I didn't mention the pattern on Instagram, and that's not something I normally do. I normally try and tell you what the pattern is. So you may have seen this already on Instagram. I have got a teeny bit of footage of Holly wearing it, and I've got some photographs of her wearing it. And basically the project came about by an old jumper. I was having a bit of a sort out. I came across this old jumper that used to be my husband's. He did feel like it never really suited him, and then I just used to use it for knocking around the house, but it just got really old and worn, and it was just, and I forgot about it, found it, and actually cut out and made into something else. It does look a bit more new looking. I think it was there was like a false t-shirt attached to the jumper around here. I think that's what was looking a bit stained and old and tatty, but now I made it into the dog jumper hoodie. I think it looks much better. So here it is. It's got a hood on it. There's a place where their harness or lead coming off the collar can come through. It's quite long, the space, so you can use either. I've looked at it on Holly, and I think if she had her harness underneath, that should go through quite nicely. And that's the tummy part of it and the arms. And basically I use all the parts of the jumper. I use the cuff and the waistband to actually make all the little bits, and I even made this. Actually is a real pocket. I know obviously she's never going to use a pocket, but it is a usable pocket, so I could put her poo bags in it, couldn't I, if I wanted to, or whatever. But yeah, but basically I bought it as a PDF. I downloaded it and I printed it on my printer. Now this is the pattern. Now I've never used these patterns before. It's Ellie&Mac, and it's the hoodie dog sweater pattern. Now I made the smallest jumper. Now I didn't know who it was going to fit, and I think it's quite a generous fit on Holly, but Rafe is smaller. That's why I kind of, sometimes when I'm making a new dog pattern, I make it unisex. So I know obviously it doesn't matter if you dress your boy dog like in, you know, female looking colours, but I suppose in the world we live in today we have to be a bit, you know, don't stereotype sexes. But when you're 40 years of age and you've lived in a certain way, it can be quite difficult to not associate certain things with boys and certain things with girls. You know, call me old-fashioned, but you know, that's the way I am. But so I kind of make it unisex, because I do like to dress my dogs like a girl and like a boy, see. But I think that is quite unisex. Well, it was a men's jumper, and you know, with the purple, you know, it is unisex, isn't it? So I made the smallest one, and it was no way going to go on Rafe. Rafe is way too tiny, and actually I think Holly, it could have gone a little bit smaller. It's fine, but she could go smaller. It was definitely generous enough to go smaller. Anyway, so what I decided to do, because I'd cut out my pattern and not traced it, I decided when I was making an order from Guthrie and Garney, and I was ordering some files, sending some files to be printed, I threw that one in there. I thought I'll just get it sent to me, and what I'll do is I'll trace out the smallest one again, and I'll make my own pattern off it, a smaller one. Anyway, basically I've done that. I spent all this time on Saturday and tracing the smallest one out and then reducing it by ½ an inch, which would make up an inch because the pieces were on the fold. And then when I compared them to the pieces that I'd used for this, they wasn't that much smaller. I thought, what's going on? And it's because it's the printer. Basically, because they're probably, I think they're American. Well, sometimes when you print out American patterns on your printer, you do get a test square, and sometimes you do find the test squares on some American patterns do look a little bit smaller, and you think, wow, it's only a little bit. But obviously over each inch that gets greater and greater, doesn't it? So basically I spent all this time reducing all the pattern pieces on the A0 printout that I had done to make a smaller version of this, and it's probably not going to be much smaller. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make up another dog jumper using my new pattern pieces. It is going to turn out smaller than this, but I don't know how much smaller, but I know again I'll have to make it unisex, because I suspect it's going to fit Holly again and not Rafe. And that means I have to go back to the drawing board. But what it is, I would have normally thought, right, I'm just going to trace this out again. But I'd planned on tracing out a woven pajama pattern for myself on the same day. So I just put the dog pattern aside and I just got cracking, and I started doing the woven pajama bottoms for myself, or pajamas, the whole, not just the bottoms. Anyway, how this project came about, I have seen this pattern and really liked it. I really liked the piping and how the piping set it off. And I found out that Lauren Guthrie and Garney, she does a Sewing Society box every month, a dressmaking box, and I could see that she was doing a dressing gown box and a pajama box, and I knew it was going to be that pattern I wanted. So I thought, oh, well, I'm going to look out for that. So anyway, when I looked at it, now I absolutely love the fabrics that Lauren chose. There were a choice of two. However, they were to make the long sleeve version and the long legged version, and I didn't really want to make the long leg version or the long sleeve version. So I thought I might end up with a bit of excess fabric and it might not be enough to do anything with. So I decided, and I'd set my heart on something red. I was thinking I want some Christmas red pajamas. So I didn't, out of a courtesy for, you know, Lauren was doing these kits and everything, I decided to buy the pattern from Lauren in, you know, the actual pattern, and that got posted to me. So I just wanted to get it all traced out straight away, and I knew I'd got 2 metre bolts. There were separate bolts. I'll show you what the bolt looked like. It was a 1 metre bolt on one of these. I got 2 of those, 100% of cotton, in this lovely red fabric with white hearts on. And I thought, you know what, that might be enough to make the shorts and the short sleeve version. So I cut out all the shorts version first, and I thought, well, at least I could get a pair of shorts out of it and see what I can get with the top. Anyway, I nearly got the whole top out of the fabric, and I tried to work it the best way I could. And unfortunately, I didn't have enough to do the sleeves, I think the sleeve cuffs, and I think the placket piece. I don't know if the placket piece that I've got to do is going to be on the outside or the inside, but I think it's the outside, but without reading further along in the pattern, I'm not going to know. So I put out a desperate plea on a sewing Facebook group, and there the sewing Facebook group connected to Crafters Companion, the people that sold this fabric. Well, it was so nice. A lady, Jill, got back to me straight away, and she said, I've got a metre of it, and we contacted each other, and I offered to pay for it, but she's going to send it me for free, which is absolutely amazing. And apparently she's going to pop it in the post today. So fingers crossed that arrives safely, and that a 1 metre is going to be enough to finish my project. But if Jill, you are watching, I have told her what my Instagram name is, and hopefully she'll find. I did say do YouTube, but I didn't send her any links or anything, but maybe after this video I could send her a link to it so she can watch this. So thank you so much, Jill, I really appreciate it. And what Jill knows is this as well, the post, it got deleted. It said it violated rules, that you can't do any buying, selling, swapping and things. And I thought it was a little bit harsh, really. I thought it was a real goodwill thing that people were doing, and they could see I was sorted. I said to people, thank you, but Jill's sending me some. So it was all done and dusted, but yeah, it was deleted. So I feel a bit hard done by that, actually. I feel a little bit like leaving the group and taking my business elsewhere from that company, in all honesty, because I thought, you know, and someone had actually put on a new post, because I've posted what I've made so far, and someone put season of goodwill. So I don't normally say bad things. Do I say bad things about places? But yeah, I didn't think that was very nice. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed. Never mind. So anyway, on a more positive point, this is meant to be Vlogmas, happy and Christmas. Here's my shorts. I'm absolutely delighted with them. I've posted a photograph of them on Instagram, and it goes over to Facebook, but I'm absolutely delighted with them. I just love the piping and the piping on the shorts. Look, it doesn't suggest putting piping on the shorts pocket, but Lauren suggested that, so I've done that. and they're just lovely, and they've got a false fly, so you have got a fly piece but it doesn't open, and then you like stick, hopefully you can see that, you stitch it down, and then at the end when you've put your waistband on you continue that stitching up, and it's just lovely, isn't it? It's a lovely pattern, and I can't wait to make the top. What I'm going to do is, I might not get time today, I'll just see what happens, but I'm going to continue making the top till I get to a point I just can't carry on. So I know the first stage of it is making the pocket, and I know I've got the pocket pieces, and I know that I've got more binding to make for the piping, because I'm going to have piping around the sleeves and round the edges and across the pocket. So I have cut out some more, but I've just got to iron it into place. So if I get time to work on that today, I may do some snippets of that for my Vlogmas, unless this is a bit too long anyway with the chat. So that was that make, and the other make, oh, that I'll show you the pattern actually. That's what the pattern looks like on the front. In all honesty, I think they kind of go for a watercolour look, closet core patterns they are. It's the Carolyn Pajamas by Closet Core. I don't think sometimes they're, I don't want to disrespect their artists, because I think the art is fantastic, but I don't think sometimes the art does the patterns justice, really, in my opinion anyway. But they're fabulous, it's fabulous artwork, I'm not dissing the artwork, but on a looking what it's like, and that's the line drawing inside, so you don't have to have the piping, so that's that. Now the other make that you have seen complete, you've seen completed on my Vlogmas, but obviously because I'm doing this as a makes video, I made the gingerbread house, and you've seen this on my other Vlogmas. Maybe I'll put some photographs on that I've shared, because it's probably better to look at it like that. But yeah, I absolutely love it, and it's a Mandy Shaw. Now, I had bought this as a kit this year, and I had planned on making it either this year or next year. As I say, I buy Christmas things, and I don't always know if I'm going to make it that year or other Christmases. But what inspired me to make it at that point is, I did a Vlogmas. I showed you what I'd received in my calendar, some little wooden things like Nutcracker and Sugar Plum Fairy and Mouse King, and I thought, well, I know that you keep wooden bits inside it, so it just inspired me to make it. So that kind of shows I've learned a lot about myself. I know I'm quite erratic and quite free-spirited, so I can't really say I'm definitely going to do this, or you know, I'm definitely going to do that, because I kind of just go with the feel of things. So at that moment I just thought I'm going to make that gingerbread house because it just felt right, and actually something I feel like making now, because if you watch my yesterday's video, I feel like making mice. Now, if you watch yesterday's video, you'll know why. So I feel totally inspired to make Christmas mice. That's what I want to do. So you might see some little mice popping up now, but I am going to continue in here with my pajama top as far as I can take it, and then I'll put it aside if that fabric hasn't arrived. Upstairs I'm continuing with my red work in the evening, and it's a Christmas lampshade, so I'm going to continue with that. So at the moment, those are my plans, the things that I'm working on and the things I'm kind of thinking ahead. Clothes making, beyond the pyjamas, I suspect it's going to be the Billy. That's what I was going to be making as my dressmaking thing, the Billy sweatshirt / dress by Tilly and the Buttons. But because of this Guthrie and Garney thing that come around, I decided to make the Carolyn Pajamas. And also, what could make a massive difference to me and what I decide to make is the advent calendar, because depending on what I get in here, if that could then spoil me, you know, I could spiral off in another direction. So that's kind of how I work. I kind of always know I've got something planned next, something I could make next, but that can change if I feel like I'm in the moment with something, or it's like a season or whatever. So yeah, so that's where I'm at the moment. And this time of year, I always feel like doing a bit of paper craft. So I think I'm going to be getting some just white photocopy paper out, you know, standard A4 white paper, and making some paper snowflakes, you know, a real childhood, something you probably do in reception, you know, when you were 4 and 5 at school. So you know, so I just feel like making those because, you know, it's coming up to Christmas, and who knows if we're going to see any snow, because, well, actually, like I think last year, I think most of the UK got snow. But if you watch the weather, what happened is, because I'm in the Midlands, every time the snow, it came from the south, it came from the west and the east and the north. But every time it got to us, this part of the Midlands anyway, not other parts of the Midlands, it just dispersed and just went away. So we wasn't lucky enough to get snow. And actually, I just cannot believe it. My youngest son is 13, and he said, oh, I can hardly remember us getting snow. And I thought, surely you must remember. But maybe just say it was 2 or 3 years, maybe that is a long time for someone that young to really have a good memory of us getting snow. So I really hope for him that we get some snow this year. And it seems highly unfair that the UK was getting so much snow last year and we wasn't getting it. So let's hope, fingers crossed. So I might be back later with some more clips, but if not, I'll see you tomorrow. So thank you for joining me again today, and hopefully this is not too long for you. It might be a bit longer than my other ones. Is there anything else I needed to say? Oh, the humane mouse traps, they're coming Wednesday, not today. And today I was supposed to have a hospital appointment, but they called on Friday and cancelled it. So I might not have been able to do this today. So I've been quite lucky, really. So yeah, that's where I am at the moment. And I don't know really what's really going on at the moment, really. And I'm not really going out much. I've not got much desire to go out, but if I go out and there's something Christmassy, I'll show you, or something of interest. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.